It's Southern Mallee Giants time. Well, I tell you what, it's taken a long time to get here for the Giants, but they're finally ready to play football. And if you're listening to the Saturday repeat, it's game day. Oh, there's a bit of excitement about the place. And Coleman Schache, he's the coach. Usually pretty understated, the old Coleman Schache, but we'll find out whether he's as understated as normal. You raring to go, Coleman?
Yeah, g'day, Flo, man. Good to be on again. Sure are raring to go. It was good numbers in the crowd at training last night, and good numbers on the training track. So the buzz is definitely about in the community, and looking forward to taking on Warwick this weekend.
Oh, I tell you what, looking forward to the rivals game against Warwick at Hopeton. But not only that, you had some dinners and that up at Hopeton. Was there a good crowd of people savouring the lovely delights there?
There was last night. So the put on by JJ Hallam Farming Enterprise, so that always draws a big crowd their cook-up, so it was good.
Did you have to get some of your senior footballers who had come up for training into Hopeton? I know about 30 or so on the track, which was great. You have to get them onto the dietary side of things and say, hey, come on, fellas, hold back a bit. We've got to get our playing weights just right for the big weekend.
No, I think if I mentioned that, I'd get a few frowns from the senior fellas and probably get told where to go with their diet. So I think I can control too much in that area.
They've only got a couple of dietary items that are required, I would suspect. But let's have a look at the side. You picked at the senior side, and a couple of players in the twos that have been unlucky to miss out in senior selection. But from the back line, you've got Lee Stewart, Ted Linden, and also Zach Robbins. Great to see Zach in the back pocket there. He'll be very, very solid for you across that line.
Yeah, so he had a bit of injuries the last couple of years with his sort of hip flexors and that. Hasn't been able to get a good run at it. So he's finally done a full pre-season. He's raring to go. And like you mentioned, Lee Stewart and the new player in Ted Linden comes across from Shepparton as well. So, he's a good leader, which will be a great...
Yeah, will be. Fabian De Borlo and Sam White at centre half-back. Coleman Schache off the half-back flank. The coach has put himself where he can dominate across half-back.
Yeah, just put myself out of the heat of the action there, slow man. So, Sam, he's ever reliable at centre half back, and Fabian comes back to the club after a year or two away. So he was there when we were in the district league, and it's great to have him back. Him and Clint, 36-year-olds, the father figures of the team, so they're good value to us.
Great to see. And Jack Landrigan back to the club from Charlton. He is one of the wings, and that's great to see him back into the action. Nice to also see that you've got Liam Price on the other wing. In the middle, the midfield, good to have Big Riley Cook in the ruck. Lou White is a terrific player and has had some terrific breakout season, I reckon, back in 2019. And Luke Marnie back to the club, and Tyler Lehman, one of the veterans from Beulah. I tell you what, Tyler Lehman, he loves it when I mention his name on the radio.
Exactly right. Tyler Lehman definitely loves a shout-out. He actually asked during training this week if he could do one of the interviews, so we'll have to tee him up one of the weeks, get him on the line. Yeah,
I think he'd enjoy that. What about Nick Dinham and also Ben Webster and Cassidy Parish across your half-forward line? Ben Webster at centre half-forward and then Josh at full-forward, Clint Burdett in the pocket, Rupert Sangster. These players, Rupert, a new name to me there. How do you think they'll form as a forward line?
So it's definitely interesting. Like you said, there's a few new faces to the team in the forward line, so we'll have to take our time to gel and work out our strengths and weaknesses of each other, and try and work out our best positions as well to form our best mix. So we definitely don't have that set in stone at this stage. Nick Dingham, like you said, and Cassidy Parish, so we've still got a lot to find out about those fellas, but can't fault their and their team so far. So I've still got the brothers up there that they've been great commitment to our club for many years now. So we know what we're going to get from them week in and week out, and it's always a positive impact on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see on the interchange Brock Orville back to the club. He'll certainly come on, and I wouldn't be surprised kick some goals. Hayden Drew and Tim Sanford, another couple of really good players in the senior side. In the reserve grade, who do you reckon, if I was to ask you, the unlucky players to miss out on selection? I mean, Matt Bellinger, a good player, I know, he's certainly been putting up his hand. Mick Saunders has played some senior football. How do you see the reserves, and who might have been unlucky not to be picked in the seniors?
Yeah, there's definitely a handful more than a handful of unlucky fellas this year. We've got a full bill of health on the list at the moment, so which I don't know if I've had in my time since coaching. So it was definitely hard at the selection table this week, and like the names that you mentioned, as well as a few of the younger ones, Connor McCredden and Bodie Colbert, their commitment to pre-season has been faultless, really, and even in the previous year in 2020 when we didn't play. So those boys, definitely very unlucky not to get a look in round one, but as everyone knows, the opportunities will open up and there'll be injuries and form slumps. So they've just got to play the best, put their best foot forward in the reserves and hopefully get the win and get some good form on the board to put their hand up to get back in the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Some really good players like Jonty Bellinger at centre-half forward. Ben McGee's played some senior footy. Declan Brown, I reckon, will play some senior footy sometime in the future. These kids are all coming on beautifully for the Southern Mallee Giants. So what about this under-14 side? A couple of the kids, I'll name it for you, the back pocket, Max Roberts, Kobe Hallam and Kryzen Smith. And then you've got the half-back line, Dane Hakopa, Jesse Crisp and Spencer Williams. The centre line is Charlie Williams, and then across on the other wing is Jimmy Crisp. The midfield is Cody Frankel in the ruck, Hudson McCred in the ruck rover, and then we've got Harrison Williams and Aidan Credlin as the midfield. We then have Lawson Hallam, Kybe Bellinger and Parker Hallam on the forward line, plus the full forward line, Axel Decker, Oliver Credlin and Finn Shannon. Who are the stars, I reckon, of the future to look out for there, mate?
Yeah, there's plenty on the cards there. Hudson McCredden, obviously you read him out, ruck rover. He's actually done a full pre-season with the seniors this year, and he slots into the drills and he doesn't take a backward step. He's well above his years in his footy smarts, so he'll definitely be one to watch there. And like I said, there's many more. The Credlin boys, they're Lewin's sons, obviously, and they've got good skills on them for the young fellas as well. So, plenty of boys keen to go, and they were probably louder than us on the track last night, so put us to shame a bit. So it'd be good to get there early and watch them have a hit out.
Good stuff. I'll look out for the name Dane Hakopa. Dane Hakopa. I can't say it yet, so I'm going to look out for him through the year.
No, you've pronounced it better than I can, I reckon, so, man. So we'll definitely keep an eye on him.
All right, let's have a quick look then at the club coming up against the Warwick Eagles in the first match at home. A huge afternoon for the side because not only the pre-season, but having the year off last year, having the delayed start. The Eagles didn't have a very good outing last week, so are you confident of getting in there and getting a win up front?
Oh, it's going to be interesting, man. Like we haven't, We went and had a look at it. A couple of us went and had a look at the game, and it's probably hard to get a gauge. Like Minya, they're definitely the standout of the competition. They've only probably got stronger since their premiership year, so it's hard to tell how good they really are. I'm sure Warwick got a young team. They had a lot of young players, so they'll be sort of a confident team. If they get up and running, I'm sure they'll be hard to stop. They've got plenty of pace, and they've still got their match winners, Dalton Jentsch up forward and Rui McKenzie running through the midfield, Daniel Bell. So they've got some match winners in their team. If they get their confidence up, they'll be hard to stop, I'm sure.
I tell you what, it will be fantastic to see them run out for the first time. Hopetoun is the venue. Warwick Eagles come up, and it will be a beauty. Have a looking at the twos. Last week, the Warwick Eagles come up against a powerful Minyip Matoa, have got some depth in their club. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against your reserves. And you look like, when we look back at that side, that you've got the unlucky players that aren't playing senior football, a lot of really good young players in your side. Maybe the run of your reserve side could be a bit too much for the Warwick Eagles. Yeah,
we've definitely got some good runners through the midfield, and the names that we mentioned before that were unlucky to get a senior game, they'll definitely be the core of the reserves team this weekend, and hopefully, good enough to get the win against the Eagles. But like you said, it's hopefully we're going to be a competitive team this year, and if sign of all competitive teams is the good depth that they've got through the reserve. So they'll be definitely putting their hand up, trying to put pressure on the senior players that aren't performing for the spots. So to good competitiveness, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to hearing how the under-14s go, because this side has got a lot of kids that Brandy and I have been talking about for the last 3 or 4 years covering this footy. And I tell you, they're just for mine. I just get a feeling that we're going to see some real special talent emerge this year in this grade.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we've said, Lewin Credlin and Dale Shannon, definitely not coaches than that, teaching them the fundamentals of the game and also just the enjoyment of the game. So we'll definitely keep it close eye on those boys, and hopefully they are competitive. They were last 2 seasons ago. I think they even won a couple of games in the end, which really being able to win a couple of games just adds that benefit, extra excitement to playing footy, and if they can do the same again this year, who knows how far they can go. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And young Jackson Moore, too, I didn't mention him earlier, is the extra player on the interchange bench there, so good to see all the kids, and in any year that comes up, some of the kids on the interchange bench may not always get a mention, but good to see the kids playing. I'm looking forward to this, and looking forward to seeing the results, and I'm looking forward to Coleman, to hearing what you've got to say after the first home and away match against the Warwick Eagles next week. You have a terrific weekend. Look forward to your company then.